Hi, in this video I will show you how I built AI voice agent for car dealership that basically acts like a receptionist. It greets customers, it checks car availability, and books test drives. And I will call a phone number in front of this camera so you can see and hear it for yourself. But first I want to tell you why is it such a game changer for car dealerships. And it's only gonna take a minute, and that's why I'm gonna set up this timer. First of all, there are a lot of things that AI voice agent can help car dealerships with, inbound and outbound. But we're going to focus on three main ones. It's booking test drive, booking services, and speed to lead, basically returning calls after someone submitted a form on your website. Let's look into booking test drives. First of all, 95% of all vehicle buyers start on the website. They browse multiple websites, so it's important to respond to them quickly before your competitor responded to them. And here's an interesting stat. 60% of all leads who visited your website, they're not gonna send a form or chat with a bot. They're gonna call. And the way you handle those calls, that's what matters, and that's what increases the revenue that you're gonna get. Well, there are a bunch of other interesting stats that I can share with you about what people call and everything. Okay, we're running out of time, but give me another 20 seconds. But I think what's most important is these stats. Up to 72% of dealership agents don't ask the caller for an appointment. And 35% did not even suggest an alternative vehicle when the vehicle of choice is not available. People talk about AI as a cost savings. And yes, that's true. But there's more to that. AI never gets lazy. AI works 24/7. AI follows the rules that you set up for it. And all that makes it such a valuable employee for many service businesses. All right, now it's time for a call.
Hi there. Thanks for calling Magic Auto. This is Paul speaking. How can I help you find the perfect vehicle today?
Hey, Paul. I'm browsing your website and I see this Dodge Caravan 2018. Is it still available?
Great news. We do have a 2018 Dodge Grand Caravan Crew Plus available. It's a black model with leather interior, front-wheel drive, and an automatic transmission. It also comes with some nice features like a backup camera and rear parking sensors. Would you like to come by and take it for a test drive? That way you can see how it feels in person.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But let me confirm first. What's the price on this vehicle?
Absolutely, I can help with that. The 2018 Dodge Grand Caravan Crew Plus is currently listed at $17,499. The best way to make sure it's the right fit is to come in, see it for yourself, and take it for a drive. After that, we can go over all the numbers together and make sure you're getting the best value. What day and time works best for you to come in for a test drive?
Sounds
We're
good,
open
Paul.
every day.
I'm available on Thursday or Friday after 5 o'clock.
Thanks for letting me know your availability. We have an open slot for a test drive on Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Friday after 5 p.m. is booked up, but Thursday at 5:30 works perfectly. Would you like to book your test drive for Thursday at 5:30 p.m.?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Perfect. To get your test drive all set for Thursday at 5:30 p.m., could I please have your full name? This will help me reserve the Dodge Grand Caravan just for you.
Yeah, it's Andrei, Andrey, Gargul, Gargul.
Wonderful, Andre Gargol. You're all set for your test drive on Thursday at 5:30 p.m. We'll have the Dodge Grand Caravan Crew Plus ready for you at Magic Auto, 123 Keel Street in Toronto. If you have any questions before then, just give us a call. Thanks again for choosing Magic Auto, and we look forward to seeing you Thursday.
And now let's take a look at the booking. We have September 4th, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. The same guest and host, and booked vehicle is Dodge Caravan. This is a dashboard that car dealership can see. Call log summary, they can see that there was 35 calls. Today, 15 positive sentiment, 9 of them booked. Here's a distribution of positive, negative, and neutral sentiment. I'm surprised we have a negative call, but happens even when you're testing. And here is a list of all our calls that we had. The ones with booked appointments are marked. We also have a summary of each call here. By the way, if you want AI receptionist to help you with your business, or maybe you need AI salesperson that can help you follow up on leads, there is a link below to book a call with me. AI telephone is here, and I would love to help you get ahead of your competition. To build this, I used several tools. First of all, Airtable. This is where I store all the data. And I think it's just easier for purpose of the demo. You can easily clone my database and test it. But in real life, you're probably going to use dealership management system for this. Another one is cal.com. So this is where I have calendar and I created a test drive appointment. Same story. Cal is a great app to build a demo, and maybe some of your clients might be using it. But in reality, most of dealership management systems already come with scheduling or calendar feature, and so you probably want to integrate with that instead. As a backend, so as a system that kind of exchanges data between our AI voice agent and our data storage, like DMS or Airtable, I am using NA10, and I will show you in details how I do that. And of course, the last but not least, for our AI voice agent itself, I'm using Retell single prompt AI agent. Let's dive in, and first I'll show you a flow chart. I think it's a better way to understand the structure of conversation and the flow of conversation. And by the way, it's not just for demo purposes. Every time I start project like this, that's where I started. I open my Fig gem and I start sketching out the flow just to design how I want conversation to go. I think that spending a little bit more time on design phase really helps to speed up process when you start building. Of course, the goal of our agent here is to book a test drive. So we're going to start with greeting and purpose discovery to understand the intent of a caller. We're going to find out if they have a specific vehicle in mind or if they need help selecting one. If they know what they want, it's easy. We're just going to get information about that vehicle. If they need help, we're going to help them to narrow down their search by asking questions about the ideal vehicle, give them some recommendations, and we're going to arrive to the same point. Basically, we will have a specific vehicle that we want to check against our database. If this vehicle is sold out or not in our database for some reason, then we will just have to go back to this previous node and do this work again. However, if the vehicle is available, we're going to push them to book a test drive. And there are two possible outcomes. One is caller doesn't want to book a test drive, and so we will try to at least capture their email for the future. However, if they are on the same page, we're going to get the date range from them and going to be checking availability for those dates and times. So there's a little bit of negotiation loop going on there until we figure out the right time that works for everyone. Then we're going to confirm it with a caller and we're going to book an appointment. And when we look at the prompt, you're going to see that it basically repeats this flow, but there are more details there. And don't worry, I'll show you exactly how it's structured. Since for this agent, we are focusing on just one job of booking a test drive, we're going to go with a simple single prompt agent. And I'm going to start it from blank. Here we go. I have this prompt that I already built, but don't worry, I'm going to walk you through this prompt step by step. And when I build this prompt, I actually follow the framework that I usually use. So I called our agent Paul, and I like to add a little bit of personality to imagine who this person is. The first step in my framework is to design a role and goal. So you're Paul, professional, friendly AI assistant for dealership name, and your primary objective is to book a test drive, confirm date, time, and contact info. If they can't visit yet, your secondary objective is to send a helpful follow-up email with matching vehicles. Personality, here we're going to describe how we want our agent to act and sound. Context is another important one. It's easy to forget. It sounds a little bit silly, but your agent lives inside the system. So they don't know what's going on when someone just starts talking to them. So you need to tell them it's an inbound call, that it's a phone conversation. So just to give them a little bit more context, how user interact with them. Dealership information. So you see here in the beginning of this prompt, I mentioned dealership name like this. I like to do it this way, so in the future, if I need to update it, I don't have to go and search through the entire prompt. I can just update it in one place. And then conversation flows. That's basically what we just went through on that diagram. You can see greeting, clarify intent, acknowledge and confirm. I don't want to spend too much time kind of going line by line through this prompt. You can easily find and download this prompt and the whole entire workflow. Like all these files are available just in the description below. The only thing I want to highlight is that throughout this prompt, we are calling tools like check vehicle, check availability, and we're going to talk about building those functions or tools a little bit later. Then I provide our agent with conversation guidelines. It's basically stylistic recommendations on how to spell phone numbers and how I want it to sound. Scenario handling. Often when I start, this part of the prompt is either completely empty or have only few scenarios. But more I'm testing it, more I realize that I want specific answers for these specific edge cases or specific specific interactions between our agent and customer. And so here I added scenario, what's your best price? I want our agent to respond to that in a very specific way. And the last one is important note. So this is just adjustments to our prompt. For example, how to handle out of scope questions gracefully. Usually during testing, this area, this block keeps growing as well. I'm pretty sure if we look at prompt that I have here, you can see like I already added a few more. Don't ever recommend or mention cars you haven't checked availability for. Don't list car features like price or mileage unless you've been asked. That's basically my prompt structure. Okay, now when we have this prompt here, we can save it. Let's also give this a name. And don't forget to change this. If you are building AI receptionist, you probably want AI to speak first, not other way around. Let's quickly test. Okay, that's not too bad, but it's weird that our agent introduced itself as Paul while she has a female voice. Okay, the next step is going to be to set up functions. Right now, our agent sounds helpful, it talks to us, but it actually can't do anything. Can't check if there's a vehicle available or not, it can't book time. We're going to start with simple things like end call. And this is function that kind of comes out of the box with Retell. So end call, use this function to end the call. We're going to do the same with call transfer. Transfer call to a human agent. And you can provide a phone number that you want to transfer this call. You can either show a Retell agent's number or transferee number when you are transferring this call. Now things getting a little bit more interesting, and we're gonna add our first custom function. We're gonna check if the vehicle is available, and this function is called check vehicle, and we're mentioning it in our prompt. So it's important if you decide to change the name, you have to change it in the prompt as well. The description is use this function to get information about the vehicle that caller asks for. Now we need to add the API endpoint. So here in our NA10, we have a webhook. And when we go to production URL, we can just copy this webhook. Make sure that your HTTP method is post and that your workflow is active. That's probably two most common mistakes that people have with webhooks, and then they are struggling trying to understand why. Why is it not working? I've been there multiple times. Okay, great. Then I like to do one more thing. I add a query parameter here. So I call it action, and the name is check vehicle. And the reason why I do this is because we're going to have multiple functions for this agent. We're going to check vehicle, we're going to check availability for appointment. We're gonna book appointments, and I like to run all this thing in one, in one N8N workflow. And to do that, I basically need to know which function called this. So that action variable that I passed, I just pass it to this switch node, and depends on what is the value of that variable. Is it check vehicle? Is it check availability? I send, I trigger different workflows within this N8N workflow. So this one is check vehicle, and then we have our JSON schema. I will copy my JSON schema here. And again, you can, this workflow is available. You can download it and just use my JSON schema. You can use ChatGPT to generate one for you. Just remember that Retell is pretty kind of picky and specific about the format. So there's examples that they provide, and you need to format it in a very specific JSON way. Like I had JSON that was valid, but still didn't work. So this format JSON button should help you to make sure that everything works. And it's very simple. Here we basically have a bunch of properties of the car, right, that we are passing, like fuel, equipment, optional equipment, interior color. Look, we don't even need all of them. The idea is that if something in conversation is matching those properties, that we're gonna fill them out, or our agent is gonna fill them out and pass it to N8N. Okay, great. The next one, also custom function, is called check availability. It's gonna have exactly the same webhook, and we're gonna pass action parameter with its name, check availability, and a different JSON schema. So in this case, in our JSON schema, what we are interested in is appointment date time. We also want to make sure that it's required. And the last custom function we're gonna use today is book appointment. And here is our JSON schema. So we just passed car model, client name, appointment date time, car make, and basically everything is required. Okay, now when we have our functions here, let's take a look at N8N workflows. First one is check vehicle. And with this function, so here is we're getting query, vehicle type, and placing on market new. But of course, it could be a specific car make or car model, whatever we extracted from that conversation, and we save it in this parameter. Actually, let me just select one execution. It's going to be easier for you to follow. Okay, so here we saved our params full model name in this case here. We are fetching records from our Airtable. And this is the most important node. This is a code that I'm using to fuzzy match our search parameters to what we have available in our database. Of course, instead you can use LLM and just pick it from there, but then you're gonna be calling a third-party service, and if it's gonna take a little bit longer or the service is down, then it's not gonna work. So I just rely on this fuzzy matching logic that I built using Claude. And after we searched for Grand Caravan, in this case we got exact matches, and we also returned partial matches. So it might be that there is no exact matches, but we have like something similar. And if it's true, then we go into this appointment and created. We go into respond webhook node just to return these results. And if there's an error, then we just show the error. And again, we are going to the webhook respond node. If you're using this workflow with webhook respond nodes, it also means that here on your main webhook, in respond, you need to pick using response to webhook node. So it kind of waits for that respond webhook. And if you have this selected, but your flow doesn't end with a respond to webhook, it's not going to work. And if you have respond to webhook, but you haven't selected the right mode here, it's going to be a problem as well. So make sure that you're not missing anything there. Then check availability. So first of all, we are kind of trying to establish this date range. When start date, we're looking at target time and end date. And then we basically what we want to do is we want to send this time interval to cal.com and receive all available slots within that interval. So for that, I am doing a get HTTP request to API, call.com API, and I am authenticated, of course, to do that. So you will have to go, well, first you will have to create your appointment, right? The one that you are trying to the one that you are trying to set. But you will also have to go to settings, API keys, and create your API key there. So after you create your API key, you can set up your header auth, and with that, you will be able to receive all available time slots for that appointment. Then there is a little bit of transformation with time zones. So here I am, because it does it in UTC, so I have to add my -4 time zone. And here I'm matching my available time slots that I received from cal.com to the one that is requested, and get the best results. And the last one is the action that we passed is book appointment. First, we're going to convert the time that we just confirmed with a caller to UTC, again, because cal.com API uses UTC. Here we have client request, so we have client name, car model, appointment time, all that, and we use another HTTP request to book appointment. And this one is very similar. We're just making a call to another endpoint, and it's a post call, and we provide JSON with all our information, like start time and attendee name and car model, all the details, in order for us to see this in this booking, test drive, and we also have booked vehicle, and all other information. If appointment is successfully created, then we return the results. If there is an error, then we will notify user about that. This video is getting longer than what I hoped for, so I will make a separate video showing the post-call analysis in more details. But for now, I want to quickly give you an overview how it's set up. So first of all, there is this webhook settings, and I have another N8N workflow, car dealership post-call, with a separate with a separate webhook. So I copy my webhook URL here, the method is post, and it's active, and I can provide it here. And now when we have a call, it's going to send information to this webhook. One thing to consider, though, that it actually sends 3 different messages to webhook. It sends a message when the call started, it sends a message when the call ended, and it sends a message when the call is analyzed. And so we actually only care about call being analyzed. Here you go. And we're going to filter out everything else. Then we are sending it to our Airtable to create this call log. Another thing that you can do is you can use this post-call analysis functionality. So what I want to use it for is I want to get from agent information if appointment was booked or not. It's going to be Boolean because it's either true or false. And I can also add information about requested info. So if maybe I want to know what kind of car this customer, this caller requested to be. And so now on our webhook, we're gonna receive not just this main regular webhook information, but at the end of this flow, next to call summary, see we have a Dodge Grand Caravan. This is our requested info, and this is our appointment booked true. So this is 2 additional things so that we can format and show into our call log. And so what I did in my case, I also created an interface based on that table, just to make it look a little bit nicer and more presentable for customers. Okay, here you have it. Booking test drive AI voice agent. Let me know what you would like to see next. I can show you a booking services agent or outbound follow-up on leads agent. For now, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.